Okay, we are live. So today we're going to cover browsing flips and rentals on Pellego in general, and with emphasis on the new map view and any questions that you guys have about using that map view and some of the other things. So I'm going to go a little bit slow at the start so we can give some people some time to join and start giving you an overview of how Pellego works in order to find these deals. So when you click on the flips page or the rentals page, what you're going to find is every single listing that's on the market with a flip lens. So our philosophy is that the best way to find a deal on the market is to look at every single listing. And then each listing, one at a time, analyze that listing as a prospective flip or as a prospective rental. And what you do when you do this, it takes way too long as an individual. So we've done this automatically. And this is the result of all the listings that you see on the market with some default filters that we've added. So in this case, we have a default filter of $10,000 for profit. So that's and that profit, you can learn more about it when you dig in, but it assumes that you're going to finance this deal with hard money, and you're going to finance the purchase and the rehab. The ROI is the same concept. The rehab per square foot. So we also estimate what the expected renovation cost of this is. The rehab number is probably one of the less accurate numbers, and one that we specifically set on the low end to just give you more options. But that's one that you're going to want to change when you get in there. Typically, if you click on the Pellego agent reviewed, the rehab estimates in these deals that have been reviewed by our in-house agents are going to be more accurate than the rehab estimates that you see that have not been reviewed. So this is all the listings that you would see with these filters. There's a bunch of other filters here that we can get into as this thing gets going. But the key thing that I wanted to talk about is the map view. So right now you're in the card view, and you can see that by this orange thingamajig. So right now it says we're on the flips page and in the card view. So if we were to click on the rentals page, same kind of thing, we're in that view. The map view, when we click on that, switches, well, to a map. And you can see the listings that are displayed that meet this rental criteria right now. So, and the agent reviewed, we uncheck that one, and you can see listings that are agent reviewed and not agent reviewed. So for instance, this one right here is not agent reviewed because it doesn't have this check mark next to it, whereas this one is. So when we click on this one, we can see that agent reviewed symbol, but this one is not agent reviewed. Now, one of the cool things we can do with the map view is change to a satellite view. So in this case, there might not be a lot to determine here. We're not that close to the water, but let's go ahead and find a listing where maybe we are closer to the water. So for instance, this one, we can say, hey, to what extent does that water matter? Are we really close or not? So that's one thing that we like doing. When you save a deal in the map view, it pops up here. So if you want to check out this deal later, you can go and click this, and then you can reference that in your saved page. If you're on the card view, you save it by clicking on the saved button right here. So for instance, that's how you save it there. And on the map view, you would save it like so. So that's how you jump between the card view and the map view. And let's go ahead and show some of the ways that you might go ahead and look for this. So let's say that you're looking for flips and you're open to doing a lot of different areas for your flips. Well, then in that case, you would use the map view, and deals that are in certain areas further north, maybe you would want a higher ROI, or further south, you'd want a higher ROI. So as you start zooming in, you can say, hey, am I getting the same thing in one part of Seattle versus another? So we zoom in here, we see a 26 versus a 19. And over here, we see a 37.4. And as we go further south, we really don't see any sort of pattern. And this is because one of the philosophies here is that the listing price is not necessarily the sales price. So one of the things that we want to emphasize at Pellego is context over information itself. So when it says that there's a 34.7% ROI, that's probably going to be a popular deal. And other investors are going to be pursuing that deal as well. And that's going to lower the ROI if the prices go above that. It's also possible that on some of these deals that haven't been agent reviewed, that some of the information might just not be as good. So in this case, this is not really any sort of extreme profit, but it's possible that this after repair value or this rehab cost is off. So maybe both of them are off, like the after repair value is too high and the rehab is too low. This could make this deal look significantly better than it is, or perhaps in the other way, worse than it is. And that's why, even though we don't know any investors who want to flip a house for only $10,000 profit, we set the default filter at 10,000, and that's our recommendation for kind of seeing more deals. You could lower it. You could make it $0. You could even go negative and see deals that might not work at their list price, but they could work at a different price, below their list price. If you're going to go for a high profit, I recommend using the agent reviewed. And the reason is because the agent reviewed ones are just more likely to have correct information or more correct information about the ARV and the rehab. Those ARVs update as new comps show up, but it'll give you a more accurate sense of what deals are there. So let's say we're looking for, in reality, like an absolute minimum of, let's say, $20,000 in profit, and 10% maybe it's fine. Actually, let's go for 30,000. 30,000 and 10%. What would match both of those criteria? And with the map view, we don't have to filter down the location at all, and we can kind of just see what's where everything might be. But let's go ahead and filter by price. So let's put 600,000. Fewer deals are still a few ones up here. So if we want to remove those, we can remove the other counties. So we could just do King County and Pierce County. Maybe you are interested in those, but for this demonstration, I want to zoom in a bit. And you can start seeing the numbers around here. So these numbers are, let's see, how old are these deals? So this listing, this looks interesting. So this one is from 22 days ago and has a big profit potential. So this is the kind of thing where this ARV might have been updated over time, and we can look into that one in a bit. And then let's see, if we go into the card view, we get the sort by the update date. And then we see here new listings coming on the market. So this one probably has an offer review coming up because it has a stronger one. Whereas this one from 4 days ago, it might not have an offer review coming up, and something that this is actually an ROI that you could shoot for. So that's kind of a summary of how you would use the map view and the card view, and why you would use one or the other, and how the filters play between the two. So any questions at this time? I don't think we have any questions going on out there. Cool. All right. Well, then I'll keep it short. And that's a summary of how to use it. If you ever have any questions about any of the deals that you find, first of all, the finding the flips and rentals is only something that's available to Pellego agents and Pellego clients. So anyone can type in an address of a property they know about, but only the agents and clients can use these pages for browsing deals. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can reach out to us. And if you don't have an account, it'll just prompt you. So I log out here and I click this, it'll just prompt you, and then you can sign up and we'll give you a call. Okay, well, that's how to use the finding flips and rentals with the map view.